Hey guys, so apparently the computer I was using is not really working right now. So I have to use my phone, for videos now for a few days, maybe. Um, but so the video is corrupted. And, yeah. So we're just gonna have to start from scratch. Um, so yeah, hope you guys enjoy the video. Uh, yeah. So, start off with the first game. Uh, at least that the website's telling me to do. Vikings Lions. I had predictions. I think a week or two ago, and I said the Vikings would beat the Lions 23-10. It was not 23-10. There was no defense in this game. It was 37-35. Kirk played an extraordinary game. Uh, He had he was 28 for 40, 405 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 picks, no interceptions. He was on target most of the day. Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen combined for 13 receptions, 190 yards. That was almost half of his completion percentage and about a fourth of his yards in this game. So that's pretty good. The defense got 1 sack and a pick. The sack was from, not gonna say that name. I don't know it, so I won't say it. But the pick was from Harrison Smith. So that was a pretty good play, actually, by Harrison Smith. But now we're on to the Lions side. Matthew Stafford, 20 for 31, 293 on the day. 3 touchdowns and a pick. He did pretty good. He was on target most of the day as well. He did throw that 1 pick. But besides that, he did really good. Adrian Peterson, 7 carries for 63 yards and a touchdown. And also DeAndre Swift, 12 carries, 54 yards, and a touchdown. So, rushing game, they had over 100 yards, which is nice. Nice to have. Marvin Jones and Quintez Cephus were the only two to have touchdowns. Jones had 8 receptions for 108 yards and 2 touchdowns. Cephus had 2 receptions, 51 yards, and a touchdown. So, yeah, it was an okay game for them. They had 3 sacks, which is pretty good. But the one thing is that they could not turn the ball over. They turned the ball over, but they couldn't make the Vikings turn the ball over, which was the problem. The Vikings were just so good on offense that their defense could not do anything against them. As I said, they had 508 total yards. That's pretty good. Yards per play was 6.9. The Lions' yards was 7.7. Yards per play. The Lions were 50% on third downs, they're not bad. The Vikings were 4 for 13, which I'm actually surprised they actually won with a worse third down percentage. They did have 31 first downs, so that was nice for them. The Vikings had less penalties for less yards. They had no turnovers, which the Lions had 2. That's pretty much how this game was decided, was those 2 turnovers. And time of possession, the Vikings just dominated. They dominated pretty much everything, except for sacks allowed and punts. That was pretty much it. Punts was, they had 3. Lions had 3 as well. So it wasn't the best of days for the Vikings, but it wasn't the worst. They did pretty good on defense, at least, to keep the Lions away from winning the game. So there you go. we will move on to the next game, the Falcons-Buccaneers game. Bucks were expected to win by 10-9. It was going to be a very low-scoring game. Nothing was really going to happen. It was just going to be a peaceful game. No, it was a very, very high-scoring offensive game. Ryan had 23 for 44 for 265 and 2 touchdowns. They passed the ball great this game. They did not stop throwing the ball, pretty much. They just kept wanting to throw the ball. They did pretty good. That's how they pretty much stayed in this game. On defense, Ricardo Allen got a pick and Dante Fowler got a sack. That's about it, which is kind of disappointing because I thought the Falcons were actually going to play some defense. And if they did, they probably could have won this game. But they didn't, and that's probably why. Well, it's mostly why the Buccaneers won, because Tom Brady almost threw for 400 yards. He was 26 for 41, 399 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a pick. Ronald Jones the second had 2 carries for 78 yards and a touchdown. So that was nice for them. The ground game did not do all that great, but they still threw the ball, so that's all they needed. Antonio Brown, 11 receptions, 138 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Chris Godwin, 5 receptions, 133 yards, and 2 touchdowns as well. So that accounts for 16 of his 26 completions and 271 yards. So pretty much what? So 5% is blah blah blah. So over 50. Know that. Yeah, over 50% of his yards and his completions went to 2 receivers. Ndamukong Suh had a sack in this game. That was it. Really, there was no defense anywhere to be found. The Bucks did win 44-27, so big win for them. But still, I was expecting a lot more defense from both teams. Because if we just look, 485 total yards to 385 total yards, so 100-yard difference. But the Buccaneers passed the ball mainly. The Falcons pretty much ran the ball all day. It wasn't really... I mean, the Falcons did fumble the ball twice. That's another way you can lose a game right there. Nothing really else. I mean, it was pretty much just the Falcons got stopped a little more, and that's how they lost the game. So, I mean, not really the offense's fault. So we got the next game, Patriots and Jets. Jets were expected to win by 35-31. I just thought after their first 2 wins of the season, they'd get a train roll and go 3-13, go to next season pretty good. No, that was not even close. Darnold did throw pretty good. 23 for 34, 266, and a touchdown. But the cost of the game was two picks. He threw 2 picks, which can cost them the game. That could have costed them the game. I don't know, but that probably would have cost them the game. But 3 sacks on Newton. That's pretty good on defense. Literally. But yeah, it wasn't a great game from the Jets standpoint. The Patriots, though, big win for them. They had Cam Newton in 21 for 30, 242, and 3 touchdowns. They also had Jacoby Myers, who went 1 for 119 yards and a touchdown. So, congrats to them. They did really good. Cam Newton, 11 carries, 79 yards. Sonny Michel, 16 carries for 76 yards. So, not the best day, but still pretty good. Jacoby Myers is actually a wide receiver. Didn't know that. But yeah, they had pretty good. They had a pretty good game all around. Good defense with Jonathan Jones and J.C. Jackson both getting picks. 2 sacks for Chase Winovich, a sack for Adam Butler. So 3 sacks and 2 picks. That's pretty good for a defensive standpoint. And also, another good for a defensive standpoint, only allowing 350 yards. That's really good, especially when you're only allowing 239 passing yards. That's pretty good in the NFL these days. 3rd and 10, 3 for 10 for third downs. That's good. Defense. Getting 3 sacks, that's pretty good. Punting it, making them punt 5 times, that's good. Getting 2 picks, that's good. Getting 3 sacks, that's good. So they pretty much played good on both sides of the ball. There was really no point at where they were having trouble trying to move the ball, really. But yeah. So there you go. That's another game down. Bills Dolphins. This is another game where the Dolphins this is to go to the playoffs. This is for everything. I mean, the Bills have already won the division, so they really don't have to care about this. But they did. They really cared about this. My prediction was 35-10. I didn't think the Dolphins were going to win. And they didn't. They obviously didn't. It was a bad game by the offense. Tua did throw 3 picks. I feel like that was his first loss as a rookie. I think so. I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to go back and look. But he still threw 35 for 58, 361 yards, and a touchdown. But 3 picks, that's pretty bad. Excuse me. Devontae Parker, 7 receptions for 116 yards. Oh, yes, sorry. Running back, Salvon Ahmed, 6 carries for 29 yards and a touchdown. Tagovailoa, 6 rushes for 28 yards, no touchdowns. And Gaskin, 7 carries for 20 yards and a touchdown. So not a bad ground game. I mean, not great at all, but not horrible. Malcolm Perry caught a catch for a touchdown, 25-yard touchdown. That's pretty nice. Defense. They got 2 picks and a sack. That's it. They didn't really do much with defense because they let 56 points. Great job, Dolphins defense. But yeah, Josh Allen, he did fine. 18 for 25, 224, 3 touchdowns and a pick. Matt Barkley, 6 for 13, 164 yards, touchdown, pick. Wasn't all that bad. Antonio Williams, the running back for the game, as Zach Moss got injured. I think it was either this game or it was the playoff game because I just got the news. So, but Antonio Williams, 12 carries, 63 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Pretty nice game for him. Nothing really for anybody else. Gabriel Davis, 2 receptions for 107 yards and a touchdown, so pretty good game for him. Isaiah McKenzie, 6 receptions, 65 yards and 2 touchdowns. John Brown, 4 receptions, 72 yards. 72 yards and a touchdown for him as well. So, I mean, not a bad game at all for receiving. Defense. Now, we want to look at this. They have 1 sack and a pick. Well, 3 picks. We know that. Isaiah McKenzie returned a punt for a touchdown. The stats. It was pretty even throughout wherever you found. The thing was, 2 of the interceptions were pick sixes, I'm pretty sure. And then the fumble was pretty much at the goal line. So, Dolphins really, what cost them was the turnovers because they scored immediately off of them. So, what the Dolphins would have to do if they could restart this game was to get the defense or the offense to not throw as many turnovers as they did in this game. Yeah. So that will actually wrap it up for part 1 of, apparently, I'm going to have to do 4 of these. But thank you guys for watching. Subscribe and like, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.